Welcome to Boot Spy. My name's William. Today I'm comparing the Thursday Captain, this old classic, to the Thursday Vanguard. I'm going to discuss the leather quality, sole quality, fit and sizing, and ultimately which of these two boots are right for you. Let's get into it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. As I said, we are comparing the popular Thursday Captain to the Thursday Vanguard. Now, as you can tell, these boots look very, very similar, but there are a few key differences that I'm going to cover in this video. Now, there are lots of subtle details, like one, for instance, is that the eyelets on the Vanguard are 0.3 centimeters, so 3 millimeters closer together. There's some subtle differences like that you wouldn't really notice, that don't make much of a difference in the final aesthetic. And if you want to know what all of those differences are, you can check the link down in the description below. I have a full detailed written version of this Captain versus Vanguard breakdown that has every little subtle detail in there. But in this video, I'm going to cover the main ones, the big things that you need to know about when you're shopping between the Captain and the Vanguard. Let's start with the biggest difference, and that is the origin of construction. So the Thursday Captain, this is made in Leon, Mexico. I'm holding right here the Storm King version of the Captain, but this is true with all of the different Captain boots. Again, it's made in Mexico. They have a factory down there, and every single boot that I own from Thursday that is made in Mexico is really, really well done. I have one other boot that's made in the US from Thursday. It's the Thursday Logger. That's a really fantastic boot, but I actually found there were more QC issues with the American-made Thursday boot than with the Mexican-made Thursday boot. The Thursday Vanguard, as you can probably guess, is made here in the United States. Last I checked, I did a little bit of research into this. I think it's manufactured in Arkansas, though I'm not entirely sure. I might have just gotten some bogus information, but I believe it's made in Arkansas. Whatever it is, it's for sure made in the United States, and Thursday uses a variety of different leathers, one of them being Horween Chrome Excel, which is what this Vanguard is. This is the, I think, mocha or the burnt coffee. What is it? So if you're looking for a made in USA boot, well then the Vanguard is a clear winner there, because it is the only one of these two that is made in the USA. Comparing the leather quality of these two boots, in the Thursday Captain, many of their options, they have about, I think, 15 different leather options at the time of filming this. Usually have a solid rotation of 12. 6 of those were in rugged resilient. This is in the tobacco. I also have the Thursday Captain in Arizona Adobe, which is another rugged and resilient leather. And then I also have the Thursday Captain in the Thursday Brown, which is a Thursday Chrome leather. And Thursday Chrome leather is based off of Horween Chrome Excel, so it is a combination tanned aniline leather. And the brown held up really, really well. You can find my 4-year review up there, just popped up. But from that, since then, I've just gotten rugged and resilient leathers, and this is a really, really interesting leather. It's kind of tough because there's not a lot of, you can't do much care to it. I actually treat mine with Bic 4. I do a little layer of Bic 4, and I don't really mess with it too much, because they say you're not supposed to really condition it because it is so packed with oils and waxes already. But sometimes you want to clean up your boots, make them look a little bit nicer. That's one downside of the rugged and resilient leather. However, one of the plus sides is that you don't ever have to care for it. So if that's not something you're into, you don't need to worry about it at all. It is rugged, it is resilient, it is less versatile, because it definitely is, as you can tell, a super casual looking boot. The Vanguard, on the other hand, this is Horween Chrome Excel. There's one option in rugged and resilient, but I would skip that. I would stick with Horween Chrome Excel, or any of the Horween leather options that they have. Horween, it tends to crease really, really gently, really nicely. Again, it doesn't require much care. It is very easy to care for. If you decided to never care for this leather at all, it would still hold up well. It would still be very durable, long lasting. But if you choose to, that's one thing I like, is that you can kind of shine it up and get a really nice look to it. As you can tell, this is just Horween Chrome Excel's got a very nice natural shine to it, so it can be a little bit more versatile than Thursday Captain rugged and resilient leather. It's just that you can wear it with more options, something a little more dressy. The leather on the Thursday Vanguard is marginally thicker than on the Thursday Captain. You're getting about 0.3 millimeters more of thickness from this leather right here, and that might just be the lining, that might just be the upper. I'm not sure exactly where that extra thickness is coming from, whether it's through the liner or the upper. I'm gonna assume it's the upper, because we got Horween Chrome Excel here, and that is generally thought to be a higher quality leather. So with the Vanguard, you're getting a little bit more leather in there, but it's a very marginal difference, 0.3 millimeters. That's not not gonna make a noticeable difference in the long run. Comparing the sole of these two boots, again, this is the Thursday Captain Storm King. So this is a different style of sole. Normally the Thursday Captain comes with a rubber studded sole that looks just like this. So I'll just pretend that this Thursday Captain has this sole. Really, between these, the sole is exactly the same in terms of the rubber outsole. So there's not a huge difference in traction, durability, anything like that. But with the Thursday Vanguard, you are getting a slightly taller heel, which is pretty cool. You have this option to have, you get this offset or multicolored leather stacked heel, whereas most of the Captains, they have just a single color. It's all dyed the same color. So there is that difference there. The welt along here is natural leather colored. It is not dyed. Both of these boots feature a 360-degree Goodyear welt, so there's not difference in recraftability. You can recraft them both just the same, just as easy. Probably the biggest difference is on the insole. The Vanguard has a leather and cork midsole, whereas the Captain has a cork and pour-on midsole. So you're probably gonna lose a little bit of longevity with the synthetic materials in the Captain. Again, these Captains, I've had mine for over 4 years. Not these ones, the previous brown ones. I've had a pair of Captains for over 4 years, whereas the Thursday Vanguard, that leather, that cork, that's gonna compress, that's going to mold to the shape of your foot over time, and that is going to make this boot probably last another year on top of whatever a Thursday Captain would. I think having the natural materials in the midsole, that does definitely add some longevity, or it should anyway. Besides the differences in the leather and in the midsole, probably the other big difference that you need to know before buying one of these two pairs of boots is in the hardware. The Thursday Captains all come with these 2 speed hooks at the top, whereas the Thursday Vanguard does not. So there are no speed hooks. That is the one thing about the Vanguard that I do not like. I really wish this had a pair of speed hooks at the top, because that would make it so much easier to slip on and off, just wear anytime. So often I'll find myself reaching for the Thursday Captain over the Vanguard, just simply because there are speed hooks on there. Now I know you can get this replaced by a cobbler, but I don't really want to go through that effort right now. So that's one downside, in my opinion, to the Thursday Vanguards. However, a lot of you guys don't like speed hooks at all, so that's actually a huge positive in the Vanguard's favor. The tongue on the Vanguard also sticks up about a good inch above the shaft. That is not the case with the Thursday Captain, as you can see. Neither of the tongues are gusseted, so if that is something you're curious about, no gusseting on the tongue. Some guys find that the tongue kind of slips over to the side. That doesn't happen for me, and boots where it does, it doesn't really bother me anyway. So, but that's a downside of not having a gusset. Sometimes that could bother some people. It doesn't bother me. When it comes to the fit and sizing, to me, both of these boots are exactly the same. I think the Thursday Vanguard might be built on a slightly slimmer, slightly more lower profile last. Don't really quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's exactly true. They look really, really similar, and from just the eye, the Vanguard seemed slimmer to me. But that could also just be because I was wearing the Captain more often, so maybe it was a little more stretched out. But when it comes to fit, they fit both exactly the same. Order a half size down from your normal sneaker size and you will be good to go. Obviously, there is a price difference. The Thursday Captain is at $199 at the time of filming, and the Vanguard is at $265 at the time of filming, so there is a good $66 difference. So is the extra $66 worth it for the Thursday Vanguard? This one's a little tough to tell, because I think both of these boots are good for a certain type of person, and depending on what you want, the style is exactly the same, so it really comes down to what your priority is. I still think that the Thursday Captain is the best value boot in the game. I just added them to my 5 best boots of 2022 list, and I stand by that. I still recommend the Thursday Captain as everyone's first boot if they're looking to get into boots, because it's such a tremendous value. Again, you're getting amazing full grain leather. You're getting a 360-degree Goodyear welt. It's leather lined. It's super durable. It's just an all-around fantastic boot. That said, I do appreciate the fact that the Thursday Vanguard has a leather and cork midsole, and that means this is just going to be a more durable boot. It's going to last, I'm going to ballpark it. I'm going to say it's going to last about a year longer than the Captain. I don't really have any data for that. I'm just ballparking based on my experience with boots and wearing these two a little bit. But as you can see, like, I have not put these through the ringer yet either, so that's just a total ballpark. But the big downside to the Vanguard is that it doesn't have the speed hooks. I wish it did. Of course, some of you guys don't like speed hooks, so that's not an issue there. Of course, I love the fact that the Vanguard comes in Horween Chrome Excel. That is a really fantastic leather. I have owned several boots with Horween Chrome Excel, and I'm a really big fan of it. But again, sometimes you want the really low maintenance, low care, the Thursday Rugged and Resilient. That's also an excellent, super casual leather. But I think Whole Grain Chrome Excel is a little more versatile. So if you want versatility, a little more longevity, and you think spending an extra $70 or so is worth it, especially stuff for made in the USA, then definitely go with the Vanguard. But if you want a really, really excellent value boot for under $200, then there is none better than the Thursday Captain. If you'd like to read a detailed review on the Thursday Captain and a detailed review on the Thursday Vanguard, or if you want to read a detailed comparison of these two boots, you can find links to those articles down in the description below. You can also find my Thursday Captain review right here after 4 years of wear, and you can find my 5 favorite boots this year right over there. I hope you found this helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button. Until next time, put your best boot forward.